Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So, today is Jan 12th. It is a Monday. I will write a newsletter as well. And today's dose, as I'm going to share next, is perfect for the newsletter topic, along with the usual weekly arc. Predominantly, this week is going to be about my experiences at ComsNets and organizing the Entrepreneur Ignite Summit, DecarbeX workshop, and the 5K run walk at ComsNets. So let's go ahead get started for today. So today's dose of Rashmi is unconscious intelligence will leave you stranded in the conflict zone between good intentions versus acting based on trying to achieve a particular outcome. Wisdom, on the other hand, is aligning your intentions and actions through choices in the present moment based on the clarity of the consciousness. So, let me illustrate what I mean by that. Let's take a real wisdom artificial intelligence spin on it based on my experiences this week to illustrate the point about this particular dose of Rashmi. So, most of us, as I talk to anybody, all in terms of the seeds ecosystem, for example, the seeds ecosystem that we are trying to build is the ecosystem about founders, investors, government regulators, ecosystem players, as well as academicians. And if you talk to any one of them individually, they all have extremely good intentions. Everybody is trying to do research, trying to make an impact in the world. Most founders start with an idea that they want to change the world. Most investors want to invest in, well, they want to grow their investment, but they want to invest in technology which is going to make an impact. And such so is the case with regulators. Everybody is trying to do the best that they can in order to make an impact in the world. So the intentions are always correct, always good. However, in a culture that is obsessed with OKRs and trying to hit a particular outcome, the OKRs for each of these individual personas tend to be slightly different, and they tend to be extremely focused on whatever is their narrow lane. And once they go down trying to meet that particular OKR or the result, they usually are met with this thing that the intention is good, but, and that but is the problem in terms of really being able to align your intentions with the choices that you make in the present moment. And that is the journey from intelligence to consciousness. If you really think hard about that but for any one of the particular swim lanes or the entire ecosystem collectively, that but is usually something that is stemming from a very narrow identity that each of the personas or each of us get associated with. It is majority of the time, 95% of the time, that is the case. Yes, 5% of the time, and there are instances when you must draw the real boundaries and really protect your energy, and it is based on something real. And entire journey from intelligence to consciousness and getting in touch with the conscious intellect is being able to tell the difference on when is it based on something real versus when is it based on a perceived reality or a narrow identity that we have taken on. To continue to build on this in the context of real wisdom artificial intelligence, if you take the example that I shared earlier this week, where in preparing for the Entrepreneur Ignite Summit, I was working with my AI copilot to do some image generation work, and it did a great job generating the first image. After that, the image was not really coming out properly. It was putting the incorrect person's image and was messing up the names and things like that. And it gave me a fairly detailed workflow on how to do this right using Canva and using some basic images from the image generator. And that could have turned into a big project. However, and that is how most of us end up when we become highly obsessed with, in this case, I would have made the OKR or the objective to generate the perfect image. However, that perfect image was just a perceived reality for me, was not really the overall objective. The real goal and the really important thing here was to have a great Entrepreneur Ignite Summit, get the point across in terms of who's talking on the stage, and then drive the right ecosystem participation and conversation. That was the real goal. The image was just an aid to drive that forward. So having that clarity on when it is truly important, what is really important in terms of the overall objective, and aligning your intentions and actions based on that. That is conscious intelligence. Versus when you're led by unconscious intelligence, you will get completely attached with perceived realities and drive yourself to the limit, as well as the rest of your team, to work towards objectives, OKRs, outcomes driven based on those perceived realities. And I can guarantee you that if you do align your internal state and based on that act from what you truly care about, then you are going to feel joyful in the present moment doing whatever you're doing. And even though the right result in terms of the metrics, as I talked about yesterday, may not transpire immediately, it will happen. Whatever you are really trying to drive towards with extreme clarity and what you're getting focused on, it will happen. And even if it doesn't happen immediately, at least your present moment that you lived, each of the present moments, you live in a state of joy, complete alignment. And honestly, that is the only reality that we ever live in. And that choice is completely with each one of us at any given present moment. That is the journey from intelligence to consciousness. Thank you.